And assuming I have not screwed anything up, we have faded in with sound this time.
We eat ice cream.
Solid plan.
Well,
God, I can see 4 of us. It's terrible. I hate this. I hate it so much.
Why don't you make the YouTube, overlay the Zoom screen over top of the YouTube window where our pictures are, and then all you see is the Zoom screen and then the YouTube comments.
I could, but it also gives me other things like if the stream breaks for some unknown reason. You know, it seems like an important thing to have.
It is. I don't have that complication. I have ice cream and bananas.
I could take the streaming software out of studio mode and then I don't see 2 of us there. Now I only see 3 of us.
Oh my
It's
God.
slightly better.
Oh my goodness. How's everyone in chat doing?
Seems pretty good. We have Asa and Sherry and Aaron and Rita and Lisa and Karen, if I remember correctly. Trying to remember usernames in relation to real names.
Bananas and ice cream. Guys, it's 30 degrees with the humidity. It's gross.
Ew. Sherry says, I figure if I check every day at this time, eventually I will get it right.
Yes!
Yes, you got it right.
That is
Congratulations.
a way to do things that we super appreciate and approve of, because we also do those things. So last night, the cat got into a yarn bag. Not a shock. The shock was it was my chapters bag that I used to carry home books I bought in. She got stuck. So she got the strap. So she got her head and her upper shoulders through the strap, but I got stuck on her belly. Did she call for help? No. She walked around quietly dragging the bag and the yarn in it. Till I'm like, what the is that sound?
Wow.
And I turn and I look.
Just went about her day like nothing was wrong.
There was no problem.
Oh my gosh.
Come here, you monster. So I fetched her out. I said, you have to go backwards. Backwards. You schmooze backwards out of all sorts of things. Why is this the one thing you won't? And she's carried on.
Backwards is not a thing.
Like it wasn't a problem. I'm like, yeah, there was yard squares all over my floor. Cause it was just her walking around, which is a sound I recognize. And she was just dragging a bag of yarn, which has no weight. So I was like, what is that weird ass dragging sound? Figured it out.
Hey.
Cool. Cool. That's my life. Oh my goodness. Are we ready to start the show?
Yeah, let's how about I shut my door first so there's not extra sounds?
What? Oh. Crazy talk.
Now everybody knows that I'm wearing a full suit of green sweats today because I'm cool like that.
It's your Sunday. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing pants. No pants.
No pants zone. No pants.
No pants zone. 30 degrees, man. It's nothing but dresses till it cools
I remember
down.
what I remember that from.
Like how you state what you remember that from, but you don't tell everybody what it is. That's helpful.
I went to this party in Quebec.
It just sounds so bad. It's always something. So, to start with my buddies. Me and my buddies got together. It never goes well from there.
Rita says you need to take pictures of when Phaedra's doing silly things like dragging bags around.
Like, there was no problem whatsoever. She was getting ready to lie down for a nap. She's got a freaking bag strap around her belly. I'm like, this cannot be comfortable, buddy. Half the yarn's all over the floor because it fell out of the bags.
Good job, kitty.
Thanks, Kat. No,
Tracy has joined us in chat. Hello, Tracy.
Hello. We're good. We're ready to go.
Yeah, let's actually start this thing.
All right. Well, welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We are two friends in fiber who knit, craft, and crochet and talk all the things in between. I'm going to guess that it's episode 223 because I forgot to ask.
It is indeed 223.
Oh, me. My name is Justin. My co-host is
me, Diana,
me.
god of technical problems.
For us, yes. That is actually a very true statement. I currently call Winnipeg, Manitoba home, and Diana currently calls Waterloo, Ontario home. We didn't make show notes, so we're winging it. Diana, what do you think we're going to cover this week?
I mean, usually we have what's in our cup.
Yep,
Sometimes we go places.
we did. There was some yarn on the go.
Excellent. We definitely have woolly workings.
We definitely have woolly workings. I've got some spinning.
Excellent. Spinning. I still haven't sewn anything. That's okay.
The fabric piles haven't moved in like 3 weeks.
We've got wool gathering and kniterature.
Excellent.
I assume.
Yes. Not as many books as last time.
That's good, because I also don't have as many books as last. Actually, I think I only had one book last time. It's the same book.
And I have bananas and ice cream.
And I'm a little bit jealous.
It's warm in here.
I believe you. I wonder when we're getting that heat wave. When does that happen?
And to get this lighting, I have to open up both of the windows in the office. And I'm in front
that
of the
helps
computer.
nothing.
That helps nothing.
Let's see, we're sitting at 28 with the humidity right now, which is 57%. And this week we are heading for
So gross.
actually a totally reasonable week.
Mm.
I mean, it's humid because there are
Ontario.
3 Great Lakes within a 90-minute drive in any given direction. So humidity is just how it is.
Yes. So right this morning on the radio, they had Liam Neeson on the morning radio program because he filmed his latest action adventure. He did a chunk of it out on Lake Winnipeg in like January.
Oh, gosh. Props to him. Oh.
Well, if you're going to film about ice roads, you have to be here when there's ice roads, which is January, February.
Props to the crew that managed to figure out how to keep all their gear working in minus 40.
So he said the obvious one was that it was cold. That was a new experience for him. So a man who's done, I don't even know how many movies, been who knows where in the world, said that's a level of cold he's never done before. Cool, that's where I choose to live, guys. And now we're doing the other extreme where it's super stupid hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was the worst. It was 36 or 38 or something like that in the city. I was recovering from my second shot of the vaccine, so I was in bed.
It's a good place
All
to
I
be.
accomplished yesterday was watching really bad TV, old TV, like really bad old TV.
Oh, that's the best kind of TV to watch when you're not feeling good.
Drinking a lot of fluids, and then I ate McDonald's.
Solid
Because
day.
that is comfort food for me, either when I'm hungover or when I'm just getting over being sick. You feel like moderately less crappy, but you still feel kind of crappy. Yeah, McDonald's fries all the way. All the way. All the way. For me, anyway. I mean, for some people, it's like A&W or Burger King. Like, whatever your comfort food is, for me, it's McDonald's. So, I did that yesterday. Yeah, I was watching Legend of the Seeker on YouTube.
I don't even know what that is.
There's 2 seasons of it, and you're welcome. It's B-level fantasy, the way Jocelyn loves her B-level fantasy.
Ooh, okay.
You've been warned. You've been warned, people. You've been warned. But the lead actor's very, very pretty without a shirt on, and he does that a fair bit, so it's good. No? Is that how you make determinations?
I'm also half reading chat. Jen is
But you
joining
don't
us.
read it to me, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, sorry, I'm like skimming because like people go off and have their own conversations that aren't at us. So like, try to have keep an eye on one conversation but still have fun with you. It's very challenging. But Jen has joined us. She is having internet issues or something, which is unfortunate.
Ooh.
Also was lamenting folded down ribbing because it takes forever to knit together and
All right.
oh, this is for her test knit, and apparently a provisional cast on will not do. It has to be to pattern since it's a test knit.
It's a test knit. The problem I have with test knitting is that they really super seriously need you to do it as instructed. Hang on, I'm gonna make some loud noises while I secure my bowl of ice cream out of frame and out of danger of having stuff put in it. Because they need you to test it the way they wrote it so that they know it works well.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
cannot make changes. You have to knit to pattern. And I don't have a pattern I don't fiddle with a little bit. There isn't a one I haven't fiddled with for fit purposes or length purposes or the fact I freaking hate ribbing. So I don't do as much ribbing as it's called for. I do everything. But if I test knit, like, you really need to, because you are testing the pattern. Not testing how well you can adapt the pattern. We all know we got those skills. All right. I have food in my system. We're good. Cinnamon buns are cooling on the counter.
Nice. A little bit jealous. We didn't get our Saturday delivery of stuff today. We didn't get in on the July breakfast club, so we don't have our Saturday delivery of fresh baked goods on our doorstep.
Well, whose fault is that? Yours.
Yep. It's very unfortunate.
You know better. You liked it.
Erin's saying she watched the show that you were talking about that I've already forgotten the title of. But she watched it when it wasn't old, but still bad, and she loved it.
I watched it when it came out on TV. My mom is where I get this passionate love affair for fantasy, science fiction, B-level stuff. So when the cheesy stuff comes up, guys, we are all over that like white on rice. Like, we can't. One of those ones where everyone's like, oh, Firefly is a cult hit. I'm like, I watched it when it was on TV. before it was popular. I'd already watched all of them. So by the time everybody else got onto it, I was like, I've already seen it.
That's all right. I didn't get into Firefly until long after the movie was out. My boyfriend at the time was like, you need to watch this. And I was like,
that's how a lot of us, our watching has gone since we've known the boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is like previous to this boy. This is previous boy. Okay, high school boy.
I absolutely watched it when it first came out on TV. Because my mom saw a clip and thought that looked cheesy, so we watched it. She was right.
It was wonderfully cheesy. I love the B-tier cheesy stuff that knows it's cheesy and just leans into it. I love it.
Legend of the Seeker is... yeah, it was perfect. I was fine. Second shot was fine. I didn't feel that bad. I just used it as an excuse to lay in bed and feel kind of poorly for a day. Though, the lady so the doctor came by, gave me a shot, whatever. Sit, wait 15 minutes, whatever. It's the normal thing. The lady came by, gave me my sticker to, yeah, you got your shot.
Still sad I didn't get a sticker. I want a sticker. Didn't get a sticker. Maybe I'll get a sticker next time.
I got 2 stickers because I've gone twice now. And she was telling me that some people put an ice pack on their arm or a heat pad, depending on what relaxes the muscles for them. So the ice pack brings down swelling and it makes blood move away from the area, and heat relaxes the muscles but it pulls blood to the area, so it depends on what it works best for you. So I did the cold packs. It's usually cold packs. Dang, if that didn't work like a charm. Hey. So I crocheted in bed and I had an ice pack wrapped around my arm, and that was beautiful. I barely swelled at all, and I had very little to no arm stiffness. Last time I had a fair bit of arm stiffness, so I was like,
ooh,
sweet.
Keep that.
So between that and the 2.5 liters of water I drank after I got my shot, I seem to have flushed it through my system quite well, and my body did fine. It just needed a nap for 14 hours.
That's a hell of a nap.
It was a serious nap.
Shall we talk about what's in our cup?
Sure. We have coffee.
We have coffee.
We both have coffee. I mean, mine's decaf, but we both have coffee.
Rachel has joined us in chat. Good morning.
Hello. I bought some McDonald's decaf roast in a bag, because you can do that. Unfortunately, it comes ground, so I'm currently making my coffee by putting coffee grounds in a make-your-own-tea bag. And then putting it in, so I'm technically making
coffee tea.
It's coffee tea? But that's because I only have a French press. Okay, no, I have a Keurig, but it's packed. It limited myself to my French press so that I didn't have 50 million things on my countertop. So,
fair enough.
It's the French press and the coffee tea bag trick right now. I could put a light liner, like a coffee filter liner in my those reusable cups that you can put in for infusing loose leaf tea, but why? Disposable tea, Insta tea bag ones work.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes a cup of coffee. It's fine. It's super, super sketch though. Whatever. I'm having my coffee and I'm having it with my vanilla simple syrup. The skinny syrup that I can have.
Also has lemonade and earlier had Irish coffee.
Mmm.
Dang, I kind of want that now. I really wish I thought of that earlier in the weekend because definitely I can't do coffee after dinner because I'll just stay awake forever, even if it is
Stay
Irish.
awake forever, even if it is Irish.
Rita's lamenting your 14-hour nap because, or she wants to steal your 14-hour nap because she normally sleeps 5 or 6 hours every night, which is
Yes.
that's not a lot
Not
of
enough.
hours. That's not enough hours.
I normally
I like a nice 7.5. That's the right number for me.
I wake up at about 6.5 hours, but I also take an hour to 3 hour nap in the afternoon for my eyes. So I technically get like 9 to 10 hours a day
Oh, that's fair.
because of the
Biphasic
vision.
sleeping.
So
It's a thing.
yes, might as well because my eyes usually wear it about middle of my day, and then that makes me really tired because I'm using them more than other people are to see less, which is so dumb.
Yeah.
But here we are, and that's what we're doing. So
That's where we're at.
I nap like a toddler after lunch. After my lunch, I lie down and I have a nap. And depending on how tired I am, that determines how long I'm napping. If I'm smart and I haven't pushed too hard, it's only like an hour and I'm up again. If I've not been smart, I'm out for 3.
Yeah, do what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Karen's suggesting I make Irish decaf coffee for after dinner.
Yes.
Which is amazingly smart and requires that I remember to buy decaf coffee.
She probably also didn't go to Michael's like she said she was going to this week. And
did I say I was going to do that this week though, or just
you said you were going to do it last week that you were going to go?
Oh well, last
you
week
needed to get things.
Wasn't this? I mean, I remember saying that I needed to go. I didn't remember specifying a timeline on that.
So about the time when I'm done the patchwork quilt cardigan.
Yeah.
Got it.
We had so many things to do. We've got a sock cal, and we've got that I barely started. And I've got birthday socks that are only half done, and we've got so many things with so many deadlines.
Yes.
There's too many deadlines. All the things are not happening.
Things go like crazy. I have some yarn on the go.
Oh yeah, my actual coffee. I have caffeinated coffee that is, I believe this week's coffee subscription was Nightmare Hippie Girl from a local roaster.
I love the names.
It's Smile
so
Tiger
good.
Coffee. I think I sent you some for Christmas?
Yeah, you sent me their decaf one.
Okay. I sent a lot of people a lot of caffeine from various places, and I couldn't remember who got what.
Hey, it's okay. I sent you caffeine, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm drinking Nightmare Hippie Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Which is...
I just love that name.
The espresso that I have right now was... I think it's Thundercat, Thunder Tiger, Thunder Peel.
Thunder Peel?
Thunder Peel, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They have entertaining names for their coffee.
Which is good. That's really like half the fun, if we're honest about it.
Ooh, Rachel is suggesting Bailey's and Frangelico in coffee.
Yes, Frangelico in coffee is amazing.
Frangelico is hazelnut.
It's akin to a Bailey's or an amaretto or a
Okay.
that sort of idea. Yeah, I prefer it over the other ones when I did put booze in my coffee. I know it drove my uncle nuts because he had Bailey's in the cupboard and he had to buy some Frangelico because I always passed on the Bailey's. But I would take the Frangelico. So that's how we did our Sunday mornings. We got up at 8. He made coffee. We put booze in it. Then we went for brunch. And then we went for groceries.
Solid Sunday.
Mm-hmm. But we were always home by noon, which was good because a chunk of Sundays in the afternoons you watched NASCAR. So no, I don't know how a blind man watches NASCAR, but he enjoyed it. And I went to work. So a chunk of the time I would stop after breakfast. I would go to work for the day. And he would continue on for groceries with his girlfriend.
Sounds like a solid day.
It usually was.
Ooh. Asa says, I finished one of the things I bragged about on Louise and Jocelyn's live.
It's true. Okay, so that lady, we had a live on Thursday night. She had to work Friday. We were live at 6:30 Manitoba time. Everybody do the math for Norway. Everybody do the math for Norway and how late at night that is for Asa.
That is dedication.
Like crazy beds. It was the blanket, I think. Guess she was showing off in the Discord chat the blanket that got done.
Nice.
Yeah, and trying to tempt me into making another tiny square blanket. It's not happening. It's a pretty blanket, but I'm not making it.
Ooh, kitty.
She wandering around back there?
Sneaking up behind you.
Oh yeah, that's not unusual.
Sherry says, I found a new-to-me booze for coffee called Moose Milk. Creamy but not overly sweet. Does sound good.
Nice.
All right, I guess we can talk about some yarn on the go.
Sure. You're in charge of keeping us on track. I'm just here to chat and derail you.
Well, between you and chat, we're thoroughly derailed.
Excellent. On the Wednesday, I was out helping Miss Erin for Fireweed Fiber Co. And we were at the farmer's market. I talked about it briefly last week because I hadn't gone yet. I'm gone now. And yes, I got some yarn. And we may have been across the way from a tea booth, which we now have to go check out their location at KP because they have tons of options at the KP one that I need to go smell. So that's got to happen. And what else happened? It was really hot. I worked a lot on a sock. Thank God there was a breeze, guys.
Yeah.
31 degrees. Thank God there was a breeze. Was I happy? You bet. I was chilling and hanging out with Erin, talking about yarn, and we may have eaten donuts and drank real lemonade iced teas. Or real lemonades.
Those are so good.
Which is that stand where they stick the lemon wedges and the simple syrup and the ice and the water and shake it really hard and give it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was doing on Wednesday, and it was delightful. And then Thursday, we had buckets of lives. And then Friday, that same sock went with me when I got my shot done, because while we were sitting waiting for our 15 minutes, I chatted with my cousin, because he is kind enough. He takes me to some of these things so I can get to them. So if you ever see me wandering around the city with a very tall white dude, it's probably my cousin. It's because I fit under his shoulder. So like a tall white dude.
Wow. That is a very tall individual.
He makes me look like a girl. That's fine. We don't super look like family because we're third cousins. His uncle's my grandfather. Somebody do the family thing for me.
God, I don't even know.
So I can't keep track of it at this point. So that's fine. He's going to help me go view apartments this week too. So there'll be more traveling and yarn on the going this week because I got to find a space. Gotta find a house for me. Well, an apartment for me. That was it. That was my yarn on the go. I went to a farmer's market and knit on a sock, and then I got my shot and I knit on a sock. That's what I did.
I didn't go anywhere this week. I had a tea meeting this week. Yeah, this past week I had my my monthly tea club meeting.
Oh, nice.
For the local tea shop. We were doing white teas, and which were
white teas are delightful summer teas.
White teas. I did not realize this. They don't have like much in the way of flavor, but like they somehow taste like an experience.
Yeah. White teas are so cool. I love white teas.
Oh, so yeah, we just learned about like a tiny bit about the history of the tea and like the processing of the tea, where it's grown, etc., etc. But this week we also talked about cooking with tea, and I was given the idea of making tea-infused butter for baking. So that's coming up on an experimental Tuesday in the not too distant future.
Good, I'm going to need to read that. I have no idea what to do for an experimental Tuesday. I'm not a clue.
Anything experimental.
Cool.
So my experiment might be I was recommended to just use I have a particular recipe in mind for infusing butter with lapsang souchong, which is the
Okay.
super smoky, taste like a campfire tea.
Yes.
Like people walk into the room and ask what's on fire.
Yes, I remember that tea.
But infusing some butter with that and then using it to make cheddar scones.
That would be great because then you'd get a smoky flavor in the cheddar scones.
Right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going
Mm-hmm.
to just take my biscuit recipe that I already have that's
Mm-hmm.
really solid and do that
Good idea.
with some infused butter.
Oh, that'll be good.
Ooh, also says I made an Earl Grey cake for my birthday a couple of years ago. I also want to try that. Because Earl Grey in baking also sounds delicious. Ooh, could have Earl Grey scones with vanilla drizzle.
Yes, good.
Or vanilla scones with Earl Grey drizzle. So many choices. Oh, there's a whole world of tea.
There is a world of tea.
But we have a
What would you
stupid
like,
amount of
Monster?
lapsang, so I think I'm going to cook with that first. Just to use some of it up. Because my mom went,
You
oh,
got
hey,
a
you like
lot?
this weird tea. And then she got us
Oh
like a kilogram
no.
of it.
That's a lot.
It's a
And it's no
lot.
and it's no sea buckthorn cherry.
Sorry?
It's no sea buckthorn cherry.
No. No, it's a particular mood you have to be in to drink that.
Yes.
So we still have lots, so I'm gonna bake with it.
Good plan.
Tracy says, I'm hungry, need to find food. You are all not helping. Thank you. We aim to not help.
Why is there another square of crochet on the floor? Where did you find that? Where did you find that? There's two. Where'd you pull those from? Have they already been in the bag? I just put it down. Like, I don't know. We're decidedly not messed up. How'd you find squares? Tell me your secrets. I don't exist for you.
Yes,
I
you do.
fed you before we started.
Also says the Earl Grey cake went really well with Earl Grey tea.
Yeah.
Solid, solid. And Karen says, it sounds delicious, and I made a coffee cake a few years ago that was a hit. Coffee cake is good. I should make coffee cake. I've never made one.
I've never made it. I've always bought it.
I should bake more.
Do.
I have this grand kitchen with this.
Yes. You have all this stuff.
I do. I've been lacking motivation. I don't know. But now that there's like the chance that people might come over again, I'm suddenly very interested in cooking and baking. And like apparently, I like to cook for people. But if it's not like a lot of people did comfort baking over the pandemic, but I guess I don't do comfort baking. I do, hey, I like you, let me cook for you.
That's not what my brain went. Yours took a much more positive spin on that.
What?
My brain went, oh, she could show off her baking skills. So unless she can show it to other people for validation, she's not going to bother.
No, it had nothing to do with that. I'm perfectly content to validate my own baking. If I like it, it must be good.
Yeah.
I will validate my own baking. No, I just like, if it's just me, like I'm not really motivated to do anything that requires work.
You never really baked for me, so.
Touche. Okay, this might need more thought.
Okay. Because if there's anybody who would gratefully receive baked goods at any hour of any day, would be the one who has nothing but baked goods in her freezer and fridge. I am not secretly Jester. What are you doing? Guys, there's cinnamon buns cooling on the oven top of the stovetop right now, and there's still banana bread in the fridge. What are you doing?
I should make banana bread. I've got so many bananas. I should do that. It's totally not experimental, but I should use up those bananas.
That is not what that's for. Hello? That's not a toy.
Yes, it is. Totally is.
I swear to God. You get stuck, I'm not fetching you.
Meow.
It's middle of the afternoon. We're going to be active. We just ate for a bit. Then we'll lie down and nap when I'm done. And they'll look at me because I'll be up and moving.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. This is how my life's going to go. All right.
I think we're on to Woolly Workings. Shall we, now that
Sure.
we've been doing this for, how long have we been doing that? Half an hour.
Yep.
Shall we actually talk about some knitting?
Yeah, I don't know why people like lives. This is stuff I all cut out. We're far more cohesive when I can edit out some of the tangents. Oops. Well, at least she got out. I think that's her in my background.
Yep, having a nice bath right there
Cool.
in frame.
Yeah. Well, she's a cat. She
Yeah.
truly does not give a flying rat butt. Okay, I've got 1 project, 2 projects, 3 projects, 4 projects. Can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 projects.
Very good.
Thanks.
I have 3.
Okay. In which case,
so why
I'll
don't you
go
start?
First. Some days, guys, I can't because we start this, we get halfway done show notes, and I go, oh, wait, I forgot a thing.
Also says,
prayer, but it's not.
apparently all of the rambling and stuff is the part that they like about the lives, which I will never understand.
Guys, I am working on the Saturday morning pullover sweater from Dragon Horde Designs. Still not entirely sure if the design is supposed to go on the end of that.
You know what? I have the power. I have a Ravelry tab right here. I'm gonna find out.
That'd be great, thank you. Because if I got that close to my screen to see what was going on, again, everybody would just see my forehead. That won't look so good. I am still making my way through my yoke increases at the top of the sweater. I am making this out of some Impeccable because I want a wash and wear sweater, which I do not have a ton of when it comes to hand knit sweaters. A lot of them
I understand now. Okay, so I looked it up. I understand why we're always confused whether it's yarn or designs. Her username on Ravelry is Dragon Horde Yarn, but as a designer, it's Dragon Horde Designs.
That's why I'm getting it confused.
Yeah, that's why we're so confused.
Also, totally fair. You do not have to have the same name all over the place. I'm weird because I do.
Sorry, I'm
Dragon Heart Designs, because we're talking about a design.
Distracted by tiny colorwork socks. What?
Sure.
They're tiny Halloween sock ornaments. Oh my god, these are so cute.
Okay, send me that. You said the magic words Halloween and colorwork. Send me that. So here is my green.
I'll throw the link in chat. Right fair warning, this is a Ravelry link, so if that's a problem for you, I'm sorry.
Don't send me a separate link. I don't want to go back through chat later.
Yes, I'll put it in chat for everybody else.
Okay, thank you. This is a deep green in Impeccable, so you can see that stitch definition going on there. Impeccable does good stitch definition. So I've got that going on. I will flip to my second color, which is a dark gray called Thunder, when I get to that point. Right now we're at the stage of, oh my word, why will these increases never end? When do I split for my sleeves? But I needed something that was relatively mindless to work on while we were recording, and it's just a nice, solid, simple sweater. It's going to look great because I'm going to end up doing it twice, I suspect. I suspect I'll end up doing it in a beautiful, like, hand-painted speckle or lightly variegated as well, so you get all that color definition. But I super wanted to start with one that I could wash, throw in the dryer, and then immediately put on my person.
Rachel says, try doing a test knit for Dragon Horde in her yarn. Gets confusing. It's her yarn and her designs. Wait, what?
Oh no. Nope. My brain would just mangle that up so bad. It'd be so bad. It'd be so bad. Super not recommended.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Super not recommended. All right. That's my first one. Though she's got some flippin' gorgeous yarn. Oh,
yeah.
my God. I love her sense of color. And apparently there's new sweater patterns coming out this fall, so I gotta get this done so I can spend more money on her pattern designs and make more of her stuff.
Yeah.
Diana needs to make
Okay.
the half moon tea.
Yes, I do. I really, really do. Okay. So my first thing, if you joined us for the Canada Day Live or watched it at some point after, you will already know this, but I finished a sock. I have a half finished object. I don't know if it's a pair of socks. It's a finished sock.
Yes. In and of itself is an FO. It is a finished object. The other
Okay, I
problem
have
is
an
you need
FO
a
then.
pair. You need a pair of finished objects to be useful.
I realize I've been neglecting to put finished things on my head recently, so got me a
Rude.
stylish hat now. And most of the ends are even woven in. It's just this last one I haven't done yet, but the toe one is woven in,
Good.
I think.
I don't know.
Some of the ends are woven in, and I need to turn this thing inside out and check which they're not all woven in.
That's fine. That's out of the red-breasted nuthatch.
I believe this is out of the red-breasted nuthatch, which should be it's the April yarn.
Yes.
I don't know, Erin. I don't remember. I'm sorry, but I love this yarn very much, and which is why I'm giving it away. I'm so sad now.
To your husband. It's not like it's going that far. You're still
No,
gonna
that's
see it
true. I
every
still get to
week.
see it. So nothing exciting about the sock. It is a vanilla toe-up sock with a fish lips kiss heel. I don't know. It's a short row heel. Yeah. That's all.
Ye old basic sock.
Ye old basic sock. I need to make one more sock because it's a couple weeks overdue already.
You need to buy knitting needles in sock sizes.
Yes. Also, I need to make more hours in a day for all of the knitting.
Yes, well, that is just a common problem we all have. If we're honest about it.
Yes. Rachel says there's three patterns from Dragon Horde in testing right now. She's a machine. Yes. What is this hair? What is that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
And Erin says, I had to stop listening for 10 minutes, so now I'm listening at double speed to catch up, and Jocelyn's laugh is great. Also, I wish I could knit that fast.
Listen, if you're watching me at 2x, my knitting speed is insane. In real life, not that fast. I wish I could knit like Sarah. I wish I could be a speed knitter.
Oof.
Oh my gosh. The things I would get done in basic stockinette if I could speed knit would be intense.
Alas.
Yeah.
Goals to aspire to.
I suspect it probably requires a bit more visual acuity than I have to knit that quickly.
It's just stockinette. I feel like that's largely by feel at that point if you're going that fast.
I hope so. Otherwise, holy Hannah. All right. So to keep track of if I'm doing an increase row or a not increase row, I add a stitch marker to my start of round or take it away, so I know where I am.
Very smart.
Otherwise, sometimes I miss increase rows. Sometimes I try to increase row twice. Also not good. And I don't want to rip in a dark color because while it'll look good on me, it is not pleasant to have to rip in. Okay, so the socks that I was traveling with and doing the things and going the places and seeing the stuffs are my grayscale socks.
Yes, indeed. April is red-breasted nuthatch, and she can dye more for me if I want, and I might want.
Yes. I was going, hey.
Pending finding a sweater pattern, because I think I need a whole sweater out of that.
I think you could just do a basic sweater, or you could do the half moon tee and make that the body color, and then see if Erin can dry you a solid or two. What is it you need? 2 other colors or 3 other colors?
2 or 3.
How many colors?
There's the dark solid and the light solid.
Solid, and then the
main body.
And the main body. So if she's okay, specialty dyeing you 2 of the solid of the same in the same color range as your body, which would be the red-breasted nuthatch. There you go. You've got your half moon tea colors there. Oh. You're welcome, Erin. I'm giving you money.
Okay. Erin, we'll talk.
Just make it easy for you, you know.
This is so dangerous knowing the time.
Look at this. I'm on the ribbing of a sock, you guys.
Hey!
grayscale socks. I was at the heel on Tuesday. I was done editing this past week's podcast, and then I took it to the St. Norbert's Wednesday's Farmers Market, and I got a good chunk of the way up because I was there for many hours. many hours, and then I finished up into the body, and then I got into the ribbing last night. So I'm about half an inch into the ribbing, and I'm going to try to do a full 2 inches of ribbing because I'll give up at about 1.5 inches and call it done. Because that's always how that works. I get annoyed. It's not quite as long as it should be for a full winter sock, but I really wanted to start ribbing, so there we go. I've almost finished a sock. Which is good because I need to cast on 2 socks here shortly. Probably the second grayscale sock so that I can get the pair of socks done. Because I really want to, completed pairs of socks. That'll be handy come the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to cast on another sock. But you can tell from, I'm stuck on that little loop thingy the yarn bowl has. That is both handy and frustrating. This is what I've got left of my first 50-gram ball. So I took the 100-gram skein and I split it in 2. So I've got more than enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Ribbing. Yeah. I was done. I was done. I had to start my ribbing. I was done. How am I warm and gross and uncomfortable? I'm sitting in an office in 21 degrees.
Because it's warm and gross and uncomfortable outside and it somehow seeps in.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Erin says, thanks for enabling. Her bank account thanks you.
I aim to please.
And Nikki Knits is suggesting Wish by Hohi is perfect for that yarn. So I'm going to have to look at that momentarily because I think it's my turn to talk about a thing.
It is your turn to talk about a thing.
Okay, well, segue, the lovely Nikki Knits made me a sock pattern. And I am absolutely thrilled. So I've casted that on from our cast on party on Thursday. Sorry, I just finished the round here. Let me make sure things aren't twisted. So I've made ever so much progress since Thursday. It's because I had progress on something else. But yeah, ever so much progress.
Oh, I love that color. I love the way that's knitting up.
Yeah. So I'm on my super exciting 1x1 ribbing right now at the top of the sock. And that's happening out of the January yarn from Erin, and the name of the bird is now escaping me. It was a red something else. No, a purple finch. It was a purple finch. I remember.
Remember?
So there's that. And then the sock has not contrast toes and heels, but it has a contrast band on the cuff. So that's going to be this yarn.
Nice.
Which is that fun cranberry yarn that I believe you got a custom set of to make. I forget what specifically.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have the
It's gonna be such a beautiful sock, and it's lacy, and it doesn't have center double decreases, and I cannot express how excited I am that there's lace without center double decreases.
Dinah's a little excited, guys.
I'm so excited. I've also just been sharing the fact that there is a pattern for me.
Yes.
With everybody, and I'm trying to explain to them how excited I am about the center double decrease thing, because I've been reading them the description on the pattern. Look, it's actually for me, and of course they don't watch the podcast, so they don't know. They don't understand. I'm trying to explain about the center double decreases, and they just sure. Yeah. You're excited though, so I'm excited too.
Yeah, this is it's your nerd moment. This is your explaining Warhammer, explaining Magic, explaining Dungeons and Dragons moment.
Yep.
She's just lounging on the floor. Of course she is.
In the doorway, yeah. Just chilling in the doorway, it's fine.
There's a slight elevation change between this floor and the hallway floor.
That just doesn't seem like it would be comfortable. Maybe it is.
I don't know. Apparently, we're good. So, okay, cool. Oh my goodness.
So I'm super duper excited about my socks. I'm so pumped about the socks.
Because it's exciting.
Socks. I have socks. They're me
You have
socks.
Here's my to be casted on red-breasted nuthatch. These are going to become coffee date socks. I'm not going to
Nice.
do a contrast heel, toe, or cuff because I don't need to. And then this way we can get some, because it's so heavily patterned, for the coffee date socks, it'll be plain stockinette. So I didn't want to add extra colors on top of pattern on top of colors. So I'm just going to do the full sock like this. And I put the mini in with my mini collection. Because apparently I have a mini collection. Did I get a chance to cast it on? No, guys. I was lounging in bed this morning when I was supposed to be casting on. Didn't happen.
It's fine.
Didn't happen. So it'll happen after this, because then I can have it done and get started on it. Should be great. Coffee date socks are also by Nikki Metz. Why? Because they're really cute.
Highly endorse.
Yep.
Big endorse.
Big endorse?
Big endorse.
So, it is still technically a project because I wound the yarn for it last night, so I just didn't bother to cast on. I played Dwarf Romantic instead.
Fair. I have not played that one again. I should do that. I played it a little bit the one night that I bought it. I should play more.
It's so relaxing.
It is very chill.
It's a chill game. It's really nice.
I kind of want it on my phone.
Wouldn't it be a great phone game? Except I wouldn't be able to play it on the phone because I've literally got it zoomed into max so I can play it right now on the screen. So as a phone game, I wouldn't be able to play it.
I think I don't fully understand how the points work because I was placing some things that I thought would make good points and it made a negative sort of a sound. And
Okay, we'll go over it after the live and I'll try to help you out.
Okay. I need help with the simple little puzzle game.
That's okay. So do I. I was messaging Ben last night. I'm like, how do you get a deer tile? I want a deer tile. It's like, I'll go find out. I don't want to look it up. Someone go find it for me. That's life. You're up again.
It's me again? Okay.
Yes.
So the thing that I am probably equally as thrilled about as the Diana socks about. So last week I had the body of a velociraptor that I was gesturing emphatically with. This week the velociraptor got an arm. Gosh darn arm was so freaking fiddly. That's why it only has one arm right now.
He's an amputee.
A little bit.
Fine.
But I did finish off the face. I gave him eyes and some little feathery hair.
Yeah.
So this is my velociraptor right now. Look at this hair.
Just one arm.
Yes, it's just one arm. Because, oh my gosh, this is 2-stitch I-cord on fingering weight. Can you blame me?
Nope.
It's so sad. But I got the little eyes on there. I had to do one of the eyes twice because they were so not even the first time, as you know, as it goes.
Your velociraptor was drunk?
So drunk. Maybe had a head injury, I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so I'm planning on adding more hair. The hair is just like little bits of, I guess they're about cut little 2-inch pieces of just black fingering weight yarn that I have for socks.
Okay. Yeah.
And just use a little crochet hook to attach them, like fold them in the half and just like single crochet it on basically.
That's not bad. It's a really easy application process.
And then I took my hairbrush and brushed it so that it all like fluffed out like this.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do some more, at least down the neck. If I'm really dedicated, I'll do it all the way down the spine to the tail and give him like a little poof on the tail as well.
Give him a little mohawk.
Yeah. So I'm at least gonna do like down the neck and a little tail floof and then a little bit on the arms to match some of the velociraptor artwork I've seen since the discovery of feathers.
Got it.
Yeah. If I'm really dedicated, I'll do it all the way down the back, but it's really fiddly. I need to find an even smaller crochet hook. I finally have a use for those itty bitty crochet hooks that somebody gave me because their grandmother made like thread lace doilies, and they're like, I don't know what to do with all these crochet hooks, so I've got like 50 of these tiny crochet hooks. I finally have a
I
use.
mean, that just screams to me that you need to learn how to do lace crochet charts on like Lydia's crochet cotton and make yourself
Yes.
table runners and placemats and stuff.
I mean, yes, that is a thing that I would like to learn at some point, but that's like when I feel like doing capital C crochet, which I have not been in the mood for. that is a different project.
That's fair. That's fair. That's
Oh,
fair.
and the other great part to this Velociraptor is Mr. Diana was for some reason very distressed that he only has one arm. So he made a Lego arm and leg set.
Oh, no. Of course he did.
Hang on.
Oh no.
So I can get it to balance on the desk, but I have to hold it up here. But yeah, so
Yep.
my my amputee Velociraptor has
He's a cyborg.
yeah, I have a cyborg Velociraptor right now sitting on my desk. Oh, this thing's just so absolutely ridiculous, and like
Yes.
the little hands move so it can like pinch and spin and rotate and grasp all the things. And it's got little toe claws.
Yep, of course he does. Well,
He's
listen,
posable, of course, and
he would
yeah.
make you a proper arm and leg set.
And he was apologizing profusely that the pieces weren't small enough that he could get a whole elbow joint in there, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
it's fine. So yeah, my mixed media Velociraptor. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of almost want to finish it because it's really cute.
That's your call.
No, I'm gonna finish it, but this is pretty great. I am, of course, reminded why I never make little knitted toys, because
They're quite fiddly.
they're so fiddly. Those fingers.
And most people choose like simple toys or toys that don't require a bunch of super tiny small needlework. You just pick the hard ones.
But it's a Velociraptor. It's a dinosaur, and I have to have the dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to check it off of my knitting bingo for the year. It was on my knitting bingo, so I
That's
get to
true, you
check it
do.
off.
Which is really good. I should look at my knitting bingo. It's in the closet cupboard, my freestanding office cupboard thing.
Erin says you just leave him with the Lego arms and legs. Maybe.
There'll be some thinking on that, I think.
I mean, I should at least attempt one of the legs, I feel like. I don't think the legs are quite as bad as the arms. What else is chat saying? Also, the smallest hook I have is 1.5 or 1.75 mil. That is totally slow to crochet with. Yes, they're so tiny, but they're good for making hair on little toys. Karen says, your husband is the best. You should leave like that. Cyborg Velociraptor is the coolest. Mutant Velociraptor. Danish Velociraptor? Sherry suggests Bionic Jerry. I don't know either. Lisa says, also there's totally lace weight knitted table runners. I have one on my Instagram post of the blue yarn I just got. Ooh, lace weight knitted table runner. That just sounds, actually that sounds pretty good. But I don't know when I'd ever use a table runner because I'm not that classy. I'm not classy enough for a table runner.
You are classy enough for a table runner, you just don't own one.
No, I do. Well, it's a Christmas
runner,
one. I have a Christmas table runner.
You put it on a table. That is how one gets to be classy enough for a table runner.
I'm not classy enough for a table runner. I'm barely classy enough to have a Christmas table runner. Barely.
I want to make
Danish for Lego. That makes more sense. Okay. I was missing the the connection between Danish and Velociraptor is Lego. Lego is Danish. Yeah. I understand now. Asa says she finished half the squares on her bingo card.
Yes.
That's good.
Asa's committed and she gets her stuff done.
I think I have half of the squares on my sheet started. I've only finished like 4, but I think I have half the squares started.
I honestly would have to look. I usually look in July and see what I've done in the first half of a year and check off a bunch, and then sort of go, okay, and then I put the sheet away for another half a year, and then I go back and check again in December. So
I can find out right now. Let's see.
I'd have to leave frame to do it. So
let's see. I've got a knitted Velociraptor.
Now I want to know. Dang it.
I've started birthday socks. Don't think I'm gonna finish the socks for birthdays or the socks for Christmas, because that's like 8 pairs of socks. Don't think that's happening.
I don't know why you put that on your list, but
yeah, I know. That was just I was feeling over ambitious. The Moherino medley kit is started. The Game of Thrones shawl kit is started. The Lighthouse shawl, the Contours mitts, the Harry Potter, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff mittens, and the 8-bit sweater are all started. And even half finished in some cases. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares that are started, and 2 that are finished.
Challenge is not a part of this question. What do I got here? I got 2, because I did a crochet and I did a knitting one. I'll start with knitting.
Rachel says she's been doing too much test knitting to hit all the squares. Totally fair. But like,
doing a lot of test knitting.
Man,
a lot of test knitting.
I should put test knitting do a test knit on my sheet for next year.
You should. I think that'd be good.
That'd be fun.
You also happen to know a designer who would give you a test knit.
Yeah. Just don't give me anything giant. If you want it done in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm not getting one square because I haven't started a project page for everything. Not going to happen. I need a BIPOC FO. I've already got a sock FO. I'll have another one here shortly. Have I released a design this year? Can't remember. Yes, I have. So I've released a design this year. I've completed at least 1 sweater or 2 sweaters this year.
Also says, I'm test knitting the button shawl. It's not a test knit. The King's Flame.
It's released.
It's released. It's not a test knit anymore.
It's not a test knit anymore.
It doesn't count.
I put some mitten FOs, sweater FOs, shawl FO. A lot of it's new project releases to get my keystering gear, to get some designs out instead of like half completed like I usually leave them. I knew to me BIPOC FO. That's doable. Yeah, there's a lot of shawls, mittens, socks. I didn't specify a single one so I could pick which ones I wanted as the mood struck me, which is good. So it's a good thing we're doing a summer sock along because I've got like 4 socks on there. What do we got here? My crocheted one. Oh, I have a vest FO, a sweater FO, a cardigan FO. I really got to finish my cardigan because then it's a crochet and a knitting one because it'd be a new design and a crocheted cardigan.
Ooh,
blanket scarf. I really want a blanket scarf.
Genevieve in chat. I see that there's there's an accent on your name and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I apologize. But she wants to know what the bingo cards are. Do you want to take that?
I will. Also, apparently I'm making some stuffed animals. Oh, did I finish a blanket this year, guys?
I think you're well on your way to like 2 being finished.
Good, because I got 2 blanket FOs on here. Okay, so the bingo cards. Jocelyn does too, because she's daft. What we do is we literally draw up a bingo card. We put a free space in the middle, and we identify projects either specifically or in my case generally that suit our goals for the year. So it can be a specific project like the Velociraptor, like Diana did. Or you could do what Jocelyn does, and Jocelyn writes, I want 3 pairs of mittens this year, so I will write mitten FO 3 squares. To encourage me to make mittens. I want some sweaters. I'll put some sweater FOs on here. For the love of Georgia, I am in desperate need of socks. I'll put some sock FOs on here. I did one for crochet. You could mix and match. You just have one card. You don't need to have this many going on. This is how Jocelyn works. And I love to crochet toys and blankets and other things and garments. So like I put a lot on here too, because that's the way it works. I didn't realize I had a best FO on my crochet cardigan, on my crochet bingo card. The idea is behind it, you can choose how you want to treat yourself for completing a bingo. So a horizontal stripe or a vertical stripe or a diagonal stripe, however you get one done. And you can choose how you want to treat yourself, like some really nice, fancy luxury yarn you wouldn't normally buy, or, downloading and getting a bunch of patterns, like whatever incentives you want to do for it. I like making X's on paper. Because I like making X's on paper. And
I pronounced a name right. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Also, Nikki Knit says she is part Indigenous, so when you knit her socks, that's your BIPOC space. Oh my god, it counts
for BIPOC! Oh, Nikki, beautiful. Because I'm like, I can't count myself as BIPOC, though I'd like to. I'm Métis Federation. I'm Métis. I got the card and everything, but I forget to put it on things. So I technically count as a BIPOC author too, or a BIPOC designer. I really should mark that in my thingy. Done. That's 2 for 1. Yeah, I'll take a 2 for 1. And there's the Métis, and then like the rosette sweater I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I've got some other BIPOCs, but like I gotta get started on the Ome one. And then I of course have a make 9, which is just things I actually really seriously want to try to make. And so far I've managed to start some of them. Because I've started the Be Relentless mitts. I've started the Ome vest. I've got the rosette pullover wound and ready to go. I've started the Starflake shawl, which just leaves the Fragile cardigan, Winter on My Mind, but so don't not crop, and the Elfie Tee and the Iskald. So, I'm doing great. Halfway through the year, and as usual, I've completed none of my Make 9. And maybe 4 or 5 of the bingo cards. That's fine. I obviously just do it because I like making X's on things. Satisfying. It's like crossing off items on a to-do list. I like it. But that's roughly what it is. It's just sort of design your own challenge is really what it is. So you can make it as difficult or as relaxed as you want, depending on how you like to knit and how you like to do things. I do way better with the bingo cards than I've ever done with the Make 9 challenge, because I hate committing to 9 projects at the beginning of the year, because there's no guarantee that I'm going to make those 9 projects through the year. It doesn't mean I haven't stopped liking them. They're just not what I've been making.
Oh. Rita says she's 8 squares short of a full card bingo. You're doing so much better than us.
Really good prize for yourself when you get a full card bingo, because that's impressive.
Yeah, 10,000% not doing that on mine. There's some large projects on here. I have a lot of like big shawls.
You made your goals. Nobody makes your goals.
I wasn't going for a full card bingo. I was just like hoping for a line this year, but I managed to arrange everything that there's always no matter what line I do, there's something in the line that's like really big.
Good. Can't cheat your way into a win. You gotta earn it legitimately.
I think my middle horizontal line is like my best bet. Empty the repairs basket, empty the whip basket. No, that's a huge one. Never mind. Screw that. So a skirt and so blanket squares. How many whips you've got going on? God, it's except for the whip basket. I mean, I could just frog a bunch of stuff. That would count.
Except you want those items.
I do still want the things in there.
All right, I got one more project. I should probably talk about.
Yeah, go.
Go.
I totally derailed us with knitted velociraptors and bingo cards. I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. I did a little bit more progress on my blanket. So, if you guys watched the Live with Louise, you'll know that the yarn to complete the blanket I wanted to complete for the monthly challenge sold out for the moment. Can't get it. It's out of stock. So I made a big blanket instead. And I'm out of arm. I'm out of frame, and I still have more blanket. I was talking to the mom, and I decided I just needed a nice couch throw. So that still means it's gotta fit people who are 6'4" or taller under it on the length of a couch. So I'm not done. If I drape it on the floor to the amount it needs to drape, I'm about chest height, and I need to go to my shoulders, and then I need to do a border. So I still have many inches to go, which is fine. I was working on it a bit yesterday when I was lying in bed, lounging around watching TV. It's just a straight old granny square. I didn't have the brain power to figure out how to make it a diagonal, so it's just a straight square with stripes. It is marled. It is held with 2 cottons held double on a 9mm sized hook. It is as wide as it needs to be because it drapes over me quite comfortably when I'm lying sideways or flat, and there's space for the cat to lie beside me, so it should encompass all beer bellies quite appropriately. Varying levels of beer bellies go on in my family, people. So the only thing left to do is get it up to the right length and dimension, which I certainly have enough yarn for. Stack that back one out of the way. And then I need to decide for my border if I'm going to do, whoopsies, marled green and white held double or solid colored stripes of green and white. That's the debate, because I need all 400 grams to do the border. It's crochet, people. I need all 400 grams for it because it's technically 200 grams because I'm holding a double. So like I need all the yardage that's here. I just need to decide how I want to do it. If I want to keep the marled look all the way around the blanket and just have it as a solid sort of striping color rotation, or if I want to just do a stripe of white and then a solid stripe of green, like 2 rounds of granny white, or not granny, sorry, 2 rounds of double crochet white, 2 rounds of double crochet green to make that solid border. Or a row white, row green, row white, row green. So I still got some choices I gotta make. I also have to cake these yarns because we're at that point now.
Also votes for stripes.
Also votes for stripes? Okay.
I like how some of the color pooling works even with the marling on your blanket. Like from a distance, it looks like there's spots.
There's spots. Just from the color pooling, once it got big enough that it was like shoulder width, I started to get color pooling happening in my marled, which looks so cool.
Yeah.
So you just get these highlight spot colors. So like it looks so good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's gonna look really good on my couch. So I'm excited for it to go there. But I need to get it done. I suspect there's more Legend of the Seeker in my future and more work on this blanket. So I'd like to have it done for next week because then it's finished. Because
we have 3 more votes for stripes, so you're doing stripes.
Stripes. Okay, got it. Green stripe, white stripe, or double white, double green. Probably white, green, white, green.
I feel like single lines of stripes.
Yeah, white, green, white, green. Okay.
That's my 2 cents. I don't know what chat's going to say.
I appreciate that they have opinions because chat helps me with a lot of decisions that I would waffle on otherwise. And only in the case of a blanket FO in a month have they led me astray.
1 vote for double stripes.
1 vote for double stripes? Okay.
1 vote for back and forth, a 2nd vote for double stripes.
Okay. It's a good thing I can keep all this information in my head, right? So
chat, you're not helping. It's like 3-2 for double to single.
Whee! But hey, I'm done with the projects that I worked on this week.
Sweet. Did you say you had spinning?
I do, actually. Erin was kind enough to drop off the spinning that I did on her little Nano e-spinner so I can show you guys. I'm not done the stuff on the Ashford traditional wheel. I have not had a chance to touch it. And then when I had time to touch it, I felt crappy. I didn't want to. That's how that works. But she wound up my wee little
Oh,
I
it's so
really don't think I'm
cute.
spinning.
It's so cute.
So I had fun. I enjoy spinning.
I do too. I should really do that more.
I feel like if we were having an episode title this week, it'd be I should really look at the smile. All
I
right,
found
so
I kind of forgot that I have actually finished 2 full skeins of spinning in the past. I found them when I was looking through all like my little scrappy minis, like the minis that aren't even 20, like a full 20-gram mini,
yes, yeah, yeah.
and for the Velociraptor, and I'm like, oh hey, there's full skeins in here of hand spinning. So those are up on the shelf behind me somewhere now. I don't remember. I think
So this is gonna
right
go
there.
with my other little learning to spin stuff, which eventually I'd like to get it to the point where my learning to hand spin is in that big glass hurricane jar as showcase, and the minis are out and used, and then just my learning to spin hand spun lives in there.
Mm.
Yeah, that's my goal with my stuff that I'm learning or teaching myself or being taught on, so that way it's on display because I've done a thing, but it's not a thing I want to create anything with in and of itself as its own solid creation.
Oh no, chat's. We've got 2 more votes for marling instead of striping.
Okay.
Oh, and also hello
Oh.
to Lucia in the chat. Again, apologies if I said that wrong.
Hello. I say hi. But that was my spinning. That's all I had time. Tour de Fleece is going great for me this year, like it does every year.
Yeah.
I start off fine and then peter out about day 4. That's why I don't
Yeah,
officially sign up to do any of it.
same. I would love to have the dedication to do things like Sock Madness or For Real Tour de Fleece or like any of those things that are actually like real competitions with teams where people are depending on you. I would love to have that kind of dedication to my hobby, but I don't. It is a relaxing thing that I do for fun. Oh hey, I'm 2 for 2 on new names today. I'm doing great. I'm so excited.
Oh, I hope you don't have any new names at work this week or you're screwed.
I do. We do have 2 new guys. One of them's French. Guaranteed I'm going to say his name wrong.
You're hoop because you've used all your good luck right here.
Dang it. Oh.
I'm excited you're good. 2 for 2 on new names. That's amazing. And welcome. Hello. Join the crazy. I don't know where we're at.
We talked about spinning, so I think we're doing wool gathering.
Okay. Unless you've magically got some cross stitch or sewing going on.
I looked at lots of cross stitch. I thought about buying some, but I haven't committed to any yet. I still have the tabs open here.
Listen, I want that monk one. Is there a kit for the monk one?
There is a kit for the monk one here. I'll throw a link in chat. Not that
I
tab.
need the
this
monk
tab.
one in my life, Diana.
I will throw a link for the monk, and it's not a Ravelry link because it's cross stitch.
There's actually a couple of her designs that I was like, man, we should get in on an order together. Or that should be my Christmas present. If I start throwing out suggestions now, guys, something shows up at Christmas time for me.
Fair.
And Diana wants suggestions. She keeps telling me every year, yes, I need ideas.
So it's slightly not safe for work, the link that I just put in there.
There's some swear words.
Yeah, but it's delightful.
Well, yeah, the monk seriously needs to be in my life.
I like the really fancy F.
Yep.
Just yeah.
Yep.
Karen agrees the monk is hilarious.
The monk is so good. I need the
Sherry's taking bets on whether I'll know the link name for Patreon this time.
Nope.
No, I won't.
Putting me down for a no. How much does that get me? Am I betting with the house or against?
Can I very quickly find it? Because I have the Patreon tab open right
Cheating!
here. Am I cheating? Am I cheating, though? Where do I even find what it is? I don't know. This is why I've never looked it up. I don't actually know where to find it.
You're asking me? It took me 15 minutes to find my Steam friend code to send to my cousin. Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great, guys. I'll start us off with the wool gathering to let you guys know that we are running 2 alongs at the moment. We've got the new one that just started this past week on Canada Day. The hashtag for that is NKP Summer Sock Along. It is a sock along in shocking news. It's going to run for 3 months. You have more than enough time to finish a pair or a million pairs, however it is you choose to knit socks. All whips are welcome so long as they are adult size socks. All sorts of patterns and sizes are also welcome because, guys, there's a million out there. Socks. So cool. We were super delighted. We were contacted earlier this year by the lovely and talented Nikki Knits. She was designing a pair of socks, one named Diana, after the glorious Diana, who puts up with all of my nonsense from week to week. And she's also designing a pair named after me, which will be coming out here in a little bit during the sock cal even.
Oh, God.
So we've got that going on.
I got some sunscreen in my eye. I don't know what just happened. It stings. Oh, God. Ow. I don't know what just got in my eye, but it really hurts. Ow.
You need a water flush station in your office?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Ow. Oh. Ow. Don't mind me. Continue on.
Continue on. Ow. The other knit along we've got going on runs till the end of this month, and it is the behemoth. Oh, Hannah, I forgot what we've called it already.
The spring cleaning cal?
Thank you. Now I remember. The hashtag for that one is NKP Spring Cleaning Cal, KAL. All make-alongs are welcome, so if you wanted to crochet an item, that was absolutely fine as well. Whips, again, were also welcome. It was an adult-sized project for 4 or more skeins of yarn. So, as usual, the only thing we really sort of not include is baby knit stuff, and that's simply because of size differentials. So that's going to the end of the month. Watch how, again, me and Diana have done great progress on working on the things we started on with Wild Abandon almost 3 months ago now, since it ends at the end of this month. That knit along wraps up at the end of the month, and it is on Instagram and Facebook only, which means you guys have to tag us if you want to be entered for prizes, either on Instagram or drop a picture and a description into our Facebook group, and our Facebook group is Northern Knits Podcast. The password is don't forget to knit when we ask you a question. That's what we're really looking for. Also, a general review of the rules, which is, as always, don't be a don't
be a jerk.
Don't be one. Be a good dude or dudette or purple flying internet monster, whatever it is you happen to be. It's totally fine. So those are the 2 big cows we've got running all along right now. Does that mean we're done for cows? Oh no. Osa's already talked me into running another one in September, and Diana signed on.
Mm-hmm.
Some more stuff's coming. Don't worry, we got you covered. I think that's it for me and Cal talk. I've gone over the bits and pieces.
You have indeed. Somebody was asking for a link to Nikki's design page, which I'm neglecting to be able to find right now because apparently I can't spell, maybe? I don't know. So if anybody else wants to find that, because apparently I'm incapable. But I did successfully find out what our Patreon link is. And you know what? I was right. It is patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast. I've been right this entire time. It was very difficult to find that out.
I never looked. On the bright side, we now get to have the beautiful Patreon ad spot by Diana. Not scripted. Ad-libbed the whole way. For the record, guys, we ad-libbed the whole thing. None of this is scripted.
If you'd like to financially support this, whatever this is, I don't know what this is. I've never known what this is, and I still don't, and I never will. But if you want to financially support it, you can do so at patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast.
Well done. Cheers! Applause to the crowd!
Hey!
Hey!
Support at any level gets you access to our patron-only Discord channel where we are talking at all hours of the day because we span roughly, 10 time zones?
I think something like that, yeah. Yeah, we go from the West Coast into Norway. And beyond one day. And beyond.
I don't actually know how all the European countries line up. But yeah, we go, yeah. West Coast, North America, over into Europe. It's a lot of time zones.
It's a lot of time zones. On the bright side, there's always stuff to talk about. Which is nice.
What else? There's the bi-weekly Experimental Tuesday. I'm
I
going to be
swear
doing
one day
something
I'll
with...
remember to start posting about that again.
I'm going to do something with tea coming up. What else am I forgetting? Early access to bonus content whenever that happens, which is on no particular schedule.
It's just whenever we put up bonus content.
Oh,
Some
and
bonus
of course...
content never makes it public. Some bonus content just exists on the Patreon page.
Yeah. I was about to launch into a sentence that I had fully formed, which just fell out of my mouth. No, well, it fell out of my brain. If it fell out of my mouth, it would be coming out right now, and instead of this jumble of words that I'm saying while I try desperately to think of the sentence, which was that e-knit-ins are a monthly thing for our patrons. The next one of those is happening July the 24th, noon Manitoba time. And the next... This is not a Patreon thing, but the next live episode will be on... I didn't look this up ahead of time. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
It's going to be stuck in my head. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I didn't look this up ahead of time. Oh, doo-dah day.
Yeah.
August the 1st.
Okay. Oh, man. August 1st.
Which I believe
That's
is August long weekend.
Yes.
I think the Monday is a holiday.
I believe
which
so,
is
yeah.
nice. Hey, that's the end of the week that I have like 10 days off.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Should be some progress then.
Yes.
On all the things.
Progress on all of the things.
She won't, guys. It's not gonna happen.
Did I forget anything?
Your hopes up right now. Let me dash it. Not really. No, I think that covers just about everything.
Oh, apparently only mods can post links in the chat, so I do have to go and find a link to Nikki's design page. So I'm going to keep doing that. So if you want to...
I will talk about my yarn acquisitions, and I'll talk about the projects you guys will only see now, and you won't see again till the end of the month, because they're the projects that I am doing with Louise for the monthly check-ins. So Jocelyn has some talking to do, but first I'm going to knit a stitch so that I don't have a loose stitch marker floating around. That would be bad. Okay, first up,
I found it.
I got yarn.
Okay,
good.
There.
My thank you from Erin from working for her for many hours, which I don't really consider it super work, but I'll certainly take the yarn. I picked up 2 skeins of this beautiful magnolia yarn. Look at that yarn. Look at that yarn.
I want that too.
So pretty. Just, yeah. Yeah. So good. Okay, so these were happily added to my stash. And I, of course, don't need to be paid, but I will absolutely take any other additional payments for any other help I get, because I'm a yarn mooch. And I am comfortable with my concept of myself. All right, for the Louise check-in, for the monthly live, for this one time and one time only, you guys will see the projects that I have said that I'm going to try to complete this month. Why? Why? There's 5 weeks to the next check-in as of Thursday. We had 5 weeks. And today's Sunday. Thursday was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's 4 days into 5 weeks. That's still a lot of weekage.
Weekage?
Yeah, that's right. I made it a word. I know it's not a word. The 8-bit sweater.
Ooh.
In my Canada Reads bag. Because boy, do I read a lot. I have shoved and I've crammed and I have delayed and I have put off. Guys, I'm at the freaking neck decreases. I checked. I have so little left to finish, it's not even funny. There goes a ball of yarn. I'll have to fetch that later. In the sport weight Briggs and Little gray and cream, I have been working on the 8-bit sweater for way too freaking long, because it was an MCAL that is so over that a new MCAL has already started. Super over. So I'm working on that. Once I've done the neck decreases and I've got my ribbing done at the neck, I need to steek this bad boy, which is totally fine. I wanted to steek this. I set it up to steek. I got steeking stitches in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a zigzag sewing up both sides, like up one side and down the other, even though I don't have to. This is sticky woolly yarn. Like this is a proper steeking yarn. Why did I get a thumbs up?
Chat got a thumbs up. I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I was finding links for things while you were talking.
Oh, good. Good. So I don't know how much space I'm going to have. Once I am done, I will finish this, graft my arms together. I will wash it and block it, and then I'll sew it and steek it. That way I can decide whether or not I'm just putting a zipper in, because I've got enough space to have a zipper and zip it up, or if I need to have a button band. And that'll be a decision I make once I've got it washed and blocked and dealt. And I want to wash and block it all in one, so that when I stretch the yarn to get that wash and block done, I only have one hem on both sides to deal with. I don't have a back hem and two front hems that I need to line up down the I block cardigans. It is more complicated than blocking a pullover. So I'm going to block this in pullover, and then I will steek the thing. So that's the first one, because literally have a week and a half of hard work and I'm done.
I should maybe pick mine up ever, hey?
Well, I want to wear it this fall, so yeah.
It's hard to want to pick it up when it's 30 plus whatever outside.
Also, most of the apartments I'm looking at are not central air, they're window units, so I need to get this done now before I move out of my central air in August. Then we have the bag the cat walked around with. Trapped in one of these loops.
Elegant creature.
Unclassy cat I've ever owned. I have crammed all of the squares for my winter patchwork cardigan that Diana and me super fell in love with and really had to make super fast. Look at that red.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Claret red. It's impeccable again because I'm going to be able to wash it and dry it and then throw it on my body, because that's the way I think winter cardigans should function. It's going to be so gorgeous to take
pictures with in fall. Like,
I know.
Colors.
I know. I picked up my other 3 balls. I still wasn't picking it up. I needed a kick in the pants, and the check-in was just the thing. I'm over half done my squares, Diana. So I literally have very little left to do on this, because I've only got the other half, of less than half the squares, and then sewing it together and ribbing, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I guess I really got to get to Michael's at an indeterminate point in the future that I will not say on the internet, because that's always a mistake.
You learning?
I'm learning. Don't say things on the internet, they'll hold you to it.
I'll hold you to it. The third project, I let people vote on this one. I'm going to finish a shawl pattern. There's shawls yarn in here. Shawl pattern.
Oh, it's that one.
This is the one out of linen.
Oh, linen.
That I started for my mummy.
Oh, that's a different one than the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's a similar color.
It is a similar color. So I got to get going on this guy because, well, it's small, and my mom wanted one with proper holes. No arm flappy holes.
Proper holes?
No arm flappy holes was the request.
Okay.
She doesn't like it when you put on a shawl to drape over your shoulders to sit down, and if you lift your arm up, you have a hole here where you can't pull the fabric in.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm doing her a half circle shawl so that it'll drape, go down her arms, but when she lifts her arms, there's still enough fabric, it's almost touching. So she doesn't get that draft in her side.
Okay.
She wants no arm flappy holes. I understood what she wanted. I understood the instructions just fine. And I've now somehow magically wrapped a ball of Briggs of Little yarn around my arm of my chair.
That's exciting.
Cool. That'll be fun to detangle myself from.
Also wants to know which other shawl. Secret shawls. Secrets.
Secret shawls.
Secrets.
Yeah. Mostly because there's like that much of it. And I don't have a design in my head for it. I'm making it up as I go while we watch Critical Role together. So there is no pattern for it yet because I literally go and I'm bored. And when I'm done with whatever the stitch pattern I'm working on right now, I'll just change to something else. So I have no idea what it's going to look like. I don't know how big it's going to be when it's finished. I don't know. I literally was like, I'm just casting on. So I did.
Do it.
That's how I made that decision. So I don't know. That is Mom's shawl at least has patterns and math and numbers done for it. So like I know what I'm doing and I can just go. This one has nothing. So the odds of it being ripped 50 million more times is really high. So that's none of that. Don't even get also don't even start with me, Matt. You've already talked me into doing a bunch of work in the background. And you know what work I'm talking about. You're a moderator. You're in that mod chat. So that's it. You guys won't see those projects again till August something. The 5th, I think, is the first Thursday.
Sorry, I was reading chat. What was that?
I think it's August the 5th is the first Thursday. I guess that was 5 weeks as of Thursday that I have to get all this done.
August 5th. Yes, that'll be the next check-in with Louise. Yeah.
So if I hardcore work on my 8-bit first or my patchwork cardigan first, whichever one catches my eye first, and I have those, if I have that done in the next week and a half, I do the other one the next week and a half, that leaves me, what, a week to finish a shawl? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it leaves me about a week to finish a shawl. So if I can get each one of these projects done in a week and a bit, and I'm working on the shawl in between, you guys have to remember that I still have to make content for this. I still have work. I still have other things. It's a heavy knitting schedule. The only benefit is I'm down to those last half a dozen boxes, like those last 6 boxes that you don't know why you have these things. So there's a lot of put it out on the table and think about it for a day going on right now. Like, do I really need this? Do I actually use this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this thing in my life? It's those miscellaneous boxes that you always travel with, and you're like, why? Why does this even exist?
I've got quite a number of those boxes. It's a little bit awkward in this house, though, because, like, a bunch of the furniture is, like, built in or came with the house, and so it's like, we will need this, we just don't right now.
Yeah.
So it's, like, extra hard to be like...
No, I'm talking little things. Trinkets, knickknacks.
Okay. The, like, personal stuff.
The personal stuff, yeah. The big stuff I've already figured out. However much of that I can take is dependent on how much square footage I get in the apartment, which I'll know the moment I have the apartment. So once I've secured the apartment, I have to be done with my smaller boxes, because then I have to do the renos, the fixing, and the DIYs I want to do for the stuff I'm taking with me. I have to arrange for the stuff that's not staying here to be picked up and removed. And I have to confirm the moving guys. So, like, it's a good thing I'm doing a lot of apartment hunting this week, because sometime this week I got to make a decision and make some applications and get it done. Yeah, so that I've got time to get my stuff done. There's also, like, a couple of fun DIY projects I want to attempt now that we can, like have people over. And, like, I have my designated helper friend, because I'm a single, right? So we'll see how that works. Hey, Erin, we're going to do some DIYs this month, and one of them is going to involve plaster casting me.
Okay.
Pictures? Which I don't want to do if it's super hot. Yeah. Well, because you can make your own dress form, and it starts with a plaster of Paris cast of your front and half back, and then you turn that into a mold, and then you polyfoam fill the mold.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then it is to your size dimensions. So it is to your size. So, like, I can have the right dimensions in here and the right dimensions under here and the right dimensions over the girls. I don't have to buy a dress form that's here and then literally stick an old bra on it with socks to get the right dimension for my chest.
Yeah.
I can have a proper dress form that I can then drape things on and actually pin stuff to, which will make fitting a lot easier, because then I can make it so that it's got the shoulder bits to it, so I can have my arm sticking out a little bit, so that I've got space for arm attachments if I want. So, like, there's a lot more I can do with it that way. So that's something I've wanted to attempt for a while. So I just needed somebody to help me by oiling me up, wrapping me in a cling film, and then putting plaster of Paris on my body. So I can stand around in the backyard for a half hour drying like this.
Erin says that sounds fun. Can she be plaster casted too?
Absolutely. Like, dude, we'll figure it out. We'll get all the stuff. Why would I not want to have somebody else also suffer what I'm
Tracy.
going to suffer?
Tracy
And right
says her
now,
daughter and her want to make one too, but your description of oiling up and cling film and all that, Tracy says kinky.
yeah. Well, you want to be careful, right? Because like you want a Vaseline around here, otherwise that plaster of Paris will find every little hair close to that,
Oh.
and it will rip that right out. It's not coming out once that plaster of Paris is set. So like you want to be Vaseline, you want some sort of bare coconut oil, you want something between your skin and the cling film, and then the
Oh
cling
yeah.
film, and then the plaster of Paris, because that would really hurt. I don't want to do that. Also, like you'll be wearing an old shirt and stuff too, but like you want to protect all of your bits.
Protect all the bits.
Protect your bits. Imagine pulling a hair like, oh, oh. I've done
Yeah.
plaster of Paris before. It was an arm cast, and I missed a hair. I missed a hair, and I did it
And
when I
you
was a
knew about
kid.
it.
I was a kid, and I still know better. I'm in my late 30s now. No, do your prep. Do your prep. So I want to do that, and there's a couple of things I want to get purchased before I move. Like I want a couple of tailor's arms so I can do ironing better, and there's a couple of things I want to upgrade. I also have to DIY a couch cover. So there is bonus content going up for people to Patreon the next little bit. It's going to be pretty hardcore while I'm filming and recording, and then I can release later. But man, I got stuff on the go. But I want a carport, well, the garage outside, to do those things, to have Warhammer miniatures being stripped of paint and prepped and primed for a new paint job, so that I've got the space to have the bookcases out while I'm painting them, and getting them to look the way I want them to. Same with like my screen that I've got, because I've got a room divider screen that I want to paint, and I want to brighten up the linen, so it's like that's a bleaching and painting process, and there's like a lot of things you wouldn't want to do in an apartment space.
Erin says if you do the plaster thing after you move, you can do it at her house and make her husband concerned for your sanity.
Sure, always also fun. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't think I'm normal anyway. Like, I got into the car, I was caffeinated and I was already warm, so I was like 100 miles a minute the moment he met me.
Oh,
And I was
poor
100
guy.
miles a minute when he picked me up 8 hours later. Like, I was full
Poor
blown
guy.
Johnson. There was very little filter going on for him.
Sherry suggests that plaster casting could be Experimental Tuesday content.
Can it? Does it count? It's not food. Because if it counts as Experimental Tuesday content, that would be great for me.
It's experimental.
It is. It's
I don't think we ever explicitly said it had to be food. It just has to be experimental.
Done. I like that idea a lot because I experiment with other things and I love crafty DIY stuff. So yeah, if that counts. I've got a dress form, and I'm going to keep the pole and start, but the dress form itself I bought it secondhand 9 years ago, and it's seen a lot of use. So it's time to replace it. Now is just really ideal. And then I can make the stand the right height, so I can put it in while the mold's setting at the right time, and then I can make sure when she stands up, she's my height, which means her shoulders are where my shoulders are. So when I drape a dress on her, if I'm hemming it for floor length, I'm just hemming it for floor length. I don't need to have it on. And I can put the markings on the pole where my knee height is.
That sounds so handy.
Where my so I can do my own hemming and stuff. So for me, that's super important, because up till now I've had my sister to help. Like, I put the dress on, my sister wandered downstairs, and I stood up straight and she marked my hem for me. Otherwise, you're guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, you're measuring and you're using math, which is not guessing, but in my mind it's guessing, because I'm used to seeing what's going on or having somebody else check it and eyeball it. So it'll be nice to have that sorted out. I'm worried because I've got a bowl of Briggs and Little yarn floating free, and sometimes she runs all over the place. She likes that yarn, but we might be done moving around. We might be back to nap time. So that's sort of, I've got that on the plate. I have lots on the plate to do, guys. The boxing part was not the big project.
No end of things to do.
There's never an end of things to do. And I'm still heavily eyeballing that stitch along from the Witchy Stitcher. It runs from August till January. That's how big of a stitch along this is.
Wow. Okay.
Still kind of want to buy the pattern and get the updates, knowing I'm going to fail the stitch along. I still want to do it because it's about the Cryptids.
It
I
does
was reading it to
sound
you.
really
Oh,
great.
so me. Grr,
Okay, I'll throw a link
grr.
for this in chat as well.
Oh yes, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. The Witchy Stitcher. She's from BC, you guys. She's Canadian,
Because
and
this
she's
is Stitch Along info. Here we
goth,
go.
goth Halloween witchy humor. So it's like Jocelyn kind of esque humor. I got my first kit from her, which was the Grim Reapers with the killing it underneath. It's the Grim Reaper. You get it? Killing it? Yeah. There's another one that's super not. It is my sense of humor. It is not everyone's sense of humor. So I've refrained from like, getting too far into what makes me giggle because it's not terribly appropriate. But she's got one for Baba Yaga's hut, and she's got one that says, "We're the granddaughters of the witches you failed to burn." Like she's like, don't go outside, it's too peoply out there. Like she's got some good stuff. So it just
Mm-hmm.
depends on their kind of humor. She also got
Victorian
some ones
Gothic
based on,
cryptids. Gosh.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I'm just it's so far out my realm. Like I'd be a super hardcore dive off the deep end, guys. I can do the basic cross stitch, and I've done two basic cross stitches. And I mean making 2 stitches. Not even a complete kit yet. I haven't gotten anywhere near that. But I'm tempted. I'm tempted. She super like I downloaded the info sheet so I could do it on a 14 count or 16 count, which is an ATA count that I can function under. But I mean, obviously, if you like better vision or you're a better stitcher or you have stitching going in your life, you could do like the 30 count linen that she's actually using, which I mean will be freaking gorgeous. But I don't think I
God,
could
this
see a
looks
30 count.
huge.
It's gonna be massive. It's gonna be
I'm just looking
absolutely
at the
massive.
border on this thing.
Uh huh.
Oh my god.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Nope. I am not committing to that when I don't even know if I like cross stitch. I will commit to something small first.
See, I mean, in the end, I could leave it and just pick it up as a full kit afterwards. When the stitch along's all done in like February, and just see if she's got kits for sale.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I can buy the pattern later, the stitch along pattern later. So I don't know. I'm still debating. I need to. If I don't pick up any stitching this month, the answer is no, because if I don't have time this month, which is less busy than next month, then I super don't have time.
Asa says, I don't need more stitching. No, no, no.
No, no, no. But she's doing enough creatures like the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot. And, like,
Oh,
how do you say no?
I am super interested to follow along and admire all of the things, but yeah,
Ugh.
I'm not committing to the.
Ugh.
I'll get the like the small FUCK kit with the flowers
Yep.
from the other place that I was looking at. I think I'll do
Yep.
that.
That makes way more sense as a starter stitch. Listen,
It's
do I
much
look
much
at easy
smaller.
stuff? No, no. I also look at the super heavy, really pretty done on linens, medieval, gothic cross stitch patterns, where it is all the grid work patterning, or you get all the stuff from in Asia, or you get these beautiful geometric pattern shapes. That's the stuff I look at. Is it the easy stuff? No, no, of course not. Why would I do that? That would be crazy. Heavens, she has a Halloween ornament trio, which would be beautiful and simple and tiny. Do I look at those? No, no,
Nah.
no.
Go
I look
big
at
or
the
go
hard
home.
stuff. Go big or go home. I apparently only function that way. So there you go. There's my big derail. Where are we at? We were at wool gathering. I gathered
Yeah.
some serious wool. I gathered the
So
wool.
much wool has been gathered. I think that just leaves books.
Sweet.
I'll be super quick and go first. I'm still
Okay.
reading Small Gods. I have not been reading it quickly at all. I had to renew my book at the library for another 3 weeks. I've had it for 3 weeks. I'm not very far.
All right.
I have not been dedicating time to reading this week.
The only reading I've been doing is while I'm playing Dwarf Romantic because my audio reads to me while I play the game, which I really, really like. I started and finished a reread of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, which, as always, is a delight for me to stop by and read when I get a chance to. And then I started, and I am just about halfway through, The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. This is the first in the Wheel of Time series. I have read a chunk of the Wheel of Time series before.
Aren't
So
there
I'm
like
going back because
14 giant books in that series?
they're huge books. Um, really, really big books. And that's fine. I like big books, so it's not a problem for me. This one is 814 pages, and it was first published in 1990. I read it mid 90s, the few that were out, mid late 90s. So I did not read a lot. I did not get all the way to the end. He did not finish the series. It was finished posthumously by Brandon Sanderson, who also doesn't write small books.
Yep, yep, yep.
So I am currently working my way through that quite delightfully, so that should keep me busy for a while. I struggle because this one I'm getting through the library. So, like, I have ones on hold, so the speed at which I read it is going to be dependent on my hold. And the smallest wait on a hold I have at my library right now is 5 weeks.
So that'll be some time.
And that's not even that book. It's not even book two. The Great Hunt is book two, and that's 7 weeks. The Midnight Library is still at 8 weeks. That was 6 months when I put that on hold. The Midnight Bargain was another over 6 months. We're down to 12 weeks. And then Hench is down to 14 weeks. I put a couple, the next in the series on hold. Yeah, I got like 27 weeks, 14 weeks. But Atomic Habits is down to 5 weeks. I don't even
Nice.
remember what that book's about. It's been on hold for so long.
It's about how we form habits. I read it a
Okay.
couple years ago. It's really good. I really enjoyed that one. I would reread.
I've been waiting so long I forgot what the book's about.
Would recommend, would reread.
That's probably why it went on the list. So
Uh,
that's it. That's all I've got done. But at 814 pages, I'm not doing 5 of those a week, guys.
no, 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 no.
Yo,
Karen says, I love Good Omens. Excellent book.
Good
Excellent show.
Omens
They're
is
doing a second season of the show,
fantastic.
apparently.
Are they?
Apparently.
I might watch the second season of the show. I liked the first season. Loved the book.
It's just so delightful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Also says, I'm rereading all of Austen's books of this summer. Sounds like a good summer reading list.
It would be a good summer reading list. I had to go back and reread Pride and Prejudice. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Karen, in fact, says, Pride and Prejudice I could read over and over again.
Oh, it is such a delightful satire. Can't get over it.
It is delightful. I think the copy that I have, I actually stole from Mr. Diana. He had some of his high school reading books left over or something, or a university or something. I don't know. It
I
was like a
wouldn't be
text.
shocked.
It's a textbook type copy of it,
Okay.
and I stole it from him because I never had to study it in school. I only ever read it for fun, so I quite enjoy it. But he absolutely despised it, probably because he had to study it at some point.
Well, we had to do Macbeth when I went through school. My copy, a physical copy, which I still have, even though I have an Audible copy now, is black leather with just the writing in a nice metallic font on the front. Otherwise, it's a
Ooh,
basic
classy.
black leather, classy with nice beveled edges and stuff. So like, I bought a really nice copy when I bought that one,
Nice.
and I'll keep it for a while because it's a really nice classic copy of Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my favorite works by Jane Austen. Because I love the
Absolutely.
satire. I love the
Nothing
satire.
nothing wrong with getting decorative copies of your favorite books.
I didn't think so.
I definitely have some like more decorative than functional copies of some books.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But that's it. We're done. We made it. We're at the end.
Just catching up on everybody else's books.
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
says, I just finished a novel by Rosamund Pilcher, 39 hours. Jeez.
Yeah, that's Jocelyn territory.
Erin was saying she hasn't read Pride and Prejudice, I assume, since high school English class. I should read it again. Yep, it's a good time.
Well, it just gives me an excuse to rewatch the movies and the British TV miniseries that I love. So I love the British TV miniseries where Colin Firth is Mr. Darcy,
Mm-hmm.
because Colin Firth is Mr. Darcy.
Oh, yes.
He is Mr. Darcy for me.
Yes.
And then there was the one that had Keira Knightley, the later one that came out that had Keira Knightley. That was the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. They did well with that one. which then gives me excuses to rewatch the Bridget Jones Diaries. And anytime I can rewatch the Bridget Jones Diaries, I'm happy. The first two, I haven't watched the third one, but I have watched the first two because the fight scenes are delightful.
Yes, yes, they are.
So
Also, is also talking about a novel by, oh, I'm gonna say this wrong, Tove Jansson. Tove.
okay.
I'm saying that first name wrong for sure. No way, I'm 3 for 3. But they're a Finnish author, most famous for writing about Moomin trolls. Interesting. I don't know what that is,
cool.
but it sounds cool. I'm into it.
Hey, listen, I still need to read The Miniaturist, and I forget who that's by. And I can't decide if it's a really good idea to read it knowing that I'm going to get absorbed into it and then I'm going to be up all night with the lights on because it also sounds like it's got a bit of a creepy factor to it.
Yep.
Or if I should wait till I'm in an apartment building and around other people and then do it because then I'm not in a house by myself in the suburbs at night. Which is
that's
creepy.
like the creepiest place to be.
So I feel like I gotta wait till I'm in the apartment before I do that one.
Sherry says, I hate all Jane Austen books. What? No, incorrect. You're incorrect. Nope. No, it's fine. Books. It's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Also says, we did mostly Norwegian authors in school, like Henrik Ibsen, which is a name I have never come across, probably because we read a bunch of Canadian authors.
We have a lot of good Canadian authors, but I mean, we also, I feel like people should also have to read, like, Tolstoy and, like, some of the big C classics for a reason.
Can you imagine getting high school kids to read Tolstoy?
Not The Idiot, anyway. Maybe Anna Karenina? Definitely not
like, everything we read in school that we had to study, I hated all of it. Like, it just gave me a bad taste for Canadian literature. Because it's all, the stuff they have you read is so boring. I'm sure there's lots of really great stuff out there, but they don't show you the really great stuff in school.
No, they don't. They show you the super, like, even I don't like the Canadian literature I read in high school.
I was ranting yesterday about this, actually.
Boring.
In particular, I remember this one book that we read in an English class. It was this girl who's born on the prairies. Her life is boring. Nothing happens. She grows up to be a bitter woman. Still nothing happens. She grows into a bitter, grouchy old woman. Still nothing happens. She dies. The end.
Yeah. We read the dullest Canadian literature when we go through high school. There is amazing Canadian literature out there. We don't get any of it when we're going through school. We get the worst stuff.
I remember that book in particular because I just hated it so much. Like, it was not a long book, but we studied it for like 3 weeks and we had to do so many assignments on this stupid book where nothing happens.
Yeah. I was super excited. Isabella did her first Shakespeare read-through. Guys, she's 15 in November, so we're in high school.
I was so excited when I realized that Shakespeare is just all dirty jokes. Like, I did not realize that. It's all dirty jokes.
I mean, she does. Well, she does now because me and Mom were laughing the whole way through, and then explaining why it was all dirty jokes. So that's how me and Mom looked at it.
It's like it's just a list of eloquent dirty jokes, and they're not even subtle.
No,
they're just very well spoken.
Yeah. So she did A Midsummer's Night Dream, which I'm really glad that was her first sort of intro to it because that's just wild hot garbage mess of fun.
Midsummer Night's Dream is so good. I saw that one at Shakespeare in the Ruins in Winnipeg once.
That's the thing I want to go to, Erin. Shakespeare in the Ruins.
I've been that one time. It was really good. I think it was in September, so it was kind of cold that evening because they started outside and they're like, they finished the first act and they're like, okay, everybody inside. Sorry, we were trying to go lickety-split because it's cold out here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Just broke character, like, immediate, like, we're cold. Let's go.
Yep.
Then we went into the conservatory for the rest of it. It was great.
Yeah. No, that's one of the things I still haven't done, even though I've lived here for over a decade. I'd like to go to.
What else are we talking about? Books. Rachel says, I have a gorgeous leather and gold leaf copy of Shakespeare. At the show on Friday, they had a similar one and made fun of themselves for it. My husband side-eyed me and laughed so hard. Yeah. Oh, I don't have a leather one, but I have unabridged Shakespeare collection. It's this giant green hardcover with gold leaf. It is so freaking fancy, and it's got like tissue paper pages because this is a behemoth. It's huge. It's on display in the living room. It's one of those impractical display books.
So it's like my copy of the Bayeux Tapestry or Cabinets of Curiosity. It's a coffee table book. It looks pretty, but it's not really meant to like pick it up and read it.
Yeah, no, this is the sort of thing that you would like place on a podium or a lectern or something because you just need the support. It's heavy.
Yeah, the only thing I got that's close to that is the Morte d'Arthur, which is one of the first Victorianized mythological tellings of King Arthur. It is actually set in France. So knowing that most of what you know of King Arthur is 18th and 19th century reproduction. It's not actually any of the original myths that existed before that. So all made up from the Victorians.
Karen says 1,000, 1,000, 10,000, lots of 1,000% agree on Colin Firth as Darcy in the wet shirt. Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is my happy place right there. That was a great scene. He also just does awkward so well.
But like
he
so
just does awkward
where you just
so
like want to be like
adorable.
Oh.
Like, you're so fucking cute. Just cute. And that awkward adorable is really hard to pull off. Most actors can't do it. Oh, so good.
Apparently I should look up Moomin Trolls when this is over because they are adorable. Noted.
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
And Henrik Ibsen is mostly known for plays like A Doll's House. Interesting. I haven't done a lot of plays. Sherry says we read 1984. I also read that one in high school. I have only read it the one time in high school, and I generally liked it. I just hated all of the assignments and studying around it because it's just like, I don't effing care. Like, we had so many tests, like comprehension reading tests on this book, and it's just like, what's this thing? What's that thing? Like, I don't know. I can tell you the plot and like why this is important, why this is thought-provoking. I can have like a good long coffee chat with you about like the philosophies and like political ramifications of this world. I don't remember what this one side character's name was. It wasn't important.
Critical thinking's complicated.
It was all stuff like, what's this character's name? What's that character's name? What's this thing that they did on this one page that was not actually relevant to the plot? I don't remember. I remember the plot.
Don't ask me. I'm just glad I'm done high school.
Ugh, could not pay me enough to go back. Anna Karenina is tough, apparently, says Asa.
It is a tough read.
I have
it's
not
as
attempted it. Do I have
It's not as tough as The Idiot, which is another one by him, but The Idiot's sort of like a stream of consciousness book. So like it is our side derails is the main plot, and you have to pull out the plot from the side derails.
Oh, I have to be in a mood to read that.
That was hard. That was a difficult book for me to read. Anna Karenina was still hard, but it wasn't quite that hard. Like, okay, what have I gotten myself into?
Sherry says, I loved The Stone Angel, and I read Margaret Atwood, too. I've only read Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, but I remember enjoying it and her writing style, and I never read more for some reason.
She's got a lot of books.
I should read them. Any of them, ever.
Yes, you should.
Asa says, and you have the beautiful Lucy Maud Montgomery. Her Anne of Green Gables is something I have read so many times. I have not ever read Anne of Green Gables. I've driven past the house. I have been to Prince Edward Island, and I was like, I maybe should have read that ever.
I read it so much. I can't bring myself to watch the TV shows. That is how over I am those books. I read them so much as a kid. No, I couldn't do it.
Apparently also saw Shakespeare in Regent Park in London. Jealous.
Oh, God, that'd be amazing.
I'm so excited that
You live near Stratford, don't you?
I do live near Stratford. It's like a half an hour, 45-minute drive. The
Ooh.
Stratford Globe. I'm
Were
so
they
freaking
able
excited for
to?
things to open so that I can go there. Been
Uh-huh.
there
Uh-huh.
once. Been there. It was amazing. We saw Oliver Twist.
Yeah. You
So
better take your knitting and work on a sock while you're there, because that's a
yes.
photo
Well,
Instagram needs.
the last time I went there, it was half a lifetime ago, literally, feeling old.
Mm-hmm.
And it was before I knew how to knit, so knitting
Yeah,
did
that's
not
fine.
happen that time. I was
It would
15.
not.
I
No,
did
it would
not
not
know
have
how to
happened
knit
that
yet.
time. No, 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 no. That wouldn't have happened. But oh yeah. And then there'd be the
That's
Stratford Festival.
100% gonna happen. Yeah, the knitting will come and we'll go for dinner and we'll be all fancy and we'll go to the
Mm-hmm.
theater and there will
Mm-hmm.
be knitting.
As it should be. As it should be. All right. On the bright side, if we're all caught up on chat, I can wrap it up and we can call it for a day.
Yeah, just more discussion about books and Colin Firth being amazing.
He is.
Oh, and Tracy says, need to go have a great day. That was probably a few minutes ago, and I did not notice. But thank you for joining us anyway.
Diana's really good at reading. She's not so good at reading out loud. We're working on that, guys.
I'm trying to decide, like, which ones do I need to read? Which ones are just back and forth between other people? Maybe I should just read them all. I don't know. I'm still working on this live thing. It's a skill, and I'm still working on it.
Is a serious skill. It's hard to manage.
It's a
All
skill.
right. In
Like,
which case,
major props to live streamers that do that for a career. Like, holy crap.
it's a work. It's work.
It's amazing.
It's
I
legit work.
like Twitch streamers. Holy
Mm-hmm.
fudge balls. They're amazing.
Because they're also gaming. So they're
Yeah.
gaming, constant stream of conversation, and chatting with chat all at the same time.
It's, oh.
And the good ones don't have dead airspace.
I know somebody that's a professional Twitch streamer, and he's amazing.
So good. All right. In which case, if we're all done, I'll say until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget
to knit. Fade out. Fade out.
Yeah.
Can we do the fade out? We can
I don't
totally
know.
do it. We can do it.
You're in
It's
charge.
happening.
You're in
Here
charge.
we go. Hey.
Sure. Bye.